say it's holding well. Their military is destroyed. Their whole Navy is underwater. You know that. 158 ships are gone. Their Navy's gone. Most of their mine droppers are gone. We have a lot of people, as you know, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect.
Stop. Stop right there. 158 ships. Underwater. Gone. That is one of the most staggering military claims ever made by a sitting American president, and it was delivered in a hallway, off the cuff, to a handful of reporters, with the same casual energy most people use to describe their weekend. No press conference. No Pentagon statement standing beside him. No satellite imagery on a screen behind him. No general. No admiral. No documentation of any kind. Just Trump. A corridor. And a number, 158, that he offered to the world like it was common knowledge. You know that, he said. You know that. Do we? Because the American public was not briefed. Congress was not shown evidence. No independent military analyst has confirmed these figures, and not a single journalist in that room stopped to ask the most obvious question in the world. How do you know? This is where we are. A president announces the effective military destruction of a sovereign nation, a nation with which we are apparently in active conflict. And the response is follow-up questions about oil prices and the Pope. So let's do what that room didn't. Let's actually look at what was said. All of it. Because this wasn't just one claim. It was claim after claim after claim, stacked on top of each other, none of them verified, all of them enormous.
I would say it's holding well. Their military is destroyed. Their whole Navy is underwater. You know that. 158 ships are gone. Their Navy's gone. Most of their mine droppers are gone. We have a lot of people, as you know, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil, and that will be very effective. But what we want to do is we want to, and again, we don't need it. What we notice and what we see and what I think is maybe my idea, maybe not, I don't know. But there are many boats heading toward our country to fill up with oil and then go and take it. So they're not going to go through the Hormuz Strait. And ultimately that'll be corrected. But in the meantime, they're using us. We have more oil because of drill, baby, drill. We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together. So if you look at Russia and Saudi Arabia, two big ones, we have much more oil than they have put together. And what's happening is boats are coming over here, filling up. We don't have to go through the Hormuz Strait.
Can you give us an update, Mr. President, on the two pilots? Are they in good condition? Have you spoken to them or their families?
They are in very good shape, and we're very proud of them, the two pilots, yeah.
You said that Iran, earlier you said Iran didn't want to come back to the table. What is that thought of it?
I think Iran is in very bad shape. I think they're very desperate. We had a meeting that lasted 21 hours. We understand the situation better than anybody, and Iran's in very bad shape. And just so you understand, Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Will not have. There is no way that they're going to get. They still want it, and they made that clear the other night. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon.
How long are you waiting for them to come back with the notification?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care if they come back or not. If they don't come back, I'm fine. Their military is gone. Their missiles are largely depleted. The manufacturing capability for missiles and drones is largely defeated. We've been very nice. We haven't ripped down too many bridges. We did one only because they broke their word. They broke their promise. And remember, their promise was that they were going to open the Hormuz Strait. They didn't do it. They lied.
We have other countries right now who are willing to help.
Yeah, they're coming up and they're helping. Yeah, we have many other countries.
You have any countries that will will be buying the oil from the United States. Have you had any talks with specific?
Well, you just have to see. But ships are heading up to our country right now, empty, and they're going to go back filled up with oil.
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess. He hit us. Think of it. He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart and they were arrested. So we don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
So would you be okay with a third country that Iran and
About what?
Would you be okay with a third country that agrees to accept Iran and the whole?
Well, that's a very theoretical question. Really, I don't want to answer.
Talked to you about Ruta this week. You've been very frustrated with NATO countries. Are you planning on?
Well, they're coming up. They're going to be coming up. But I'm very disappointed in NATO. They didn't do the. They weren't there for us. We pay trillions of dollars for NATO, and they weren't there for us. Remember what I said. NATO was not there. Now they want to come up, but there's no real threat anymore. But NATO was not there for us.
Are you going to punish the countries who didn't help you?
We'll see what happens. But, you know, we spend trillions of dollars on NATO to help them guard really against Russia. When you think of it, we're guarding against Russia. And I've long thought it was a little ridiculous, but we spend trillions of dollars doing it. And I think that's going to be under very serious examination. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go through this piece by piece. Because every 30 seconds of that clip contains something the American public should be questioning. First, the military claims. 158 ships destroyed. The Navy gone. Missiles largely depleted. Manufacturing capability for drones and missiles largely defeated. These are not small assertions. These are war outcome statements, and they came with no sourcing, no qualifier, no according to our intelligence. Nothing. Just stated as settled fact. Think about what it would actually take to sink 158 naval vessels. Think about the satellite coverage that would document that. Think about the international news organizations, the shipping industry, the regional governments that would all be screaming about it. Where is that confirmation? Where is any of it? And then he said something that should have stopped every reporter cold. We've been very nice. We haven't ripped down too many bridges. Very nice. He described a military operation that supposedly annihilated an entire country's armed forces as being very nice. That's the framing. That's the posture. Not accountability. Not gravity. Casual dominance. Then came the oil blockade. Effective, he said, at 10 a.m. the next morning. An oil blockade on Iran. That is an act with massive global economic consequences. It affects energy markets, allied nations, shipping routes, and international law. And it was announced in the same breath as a comment about boats filling up with American oil. No formal statement. No coordinated messaging with allies. No advance notice to Congress that we know of. Just, at 10 o'clock tomorrow we have a blockade going into effect. Then, the Pope. He was asked about attacking Pope Leo on social media. And he went. He accused the Pope of liking crime, of being soft on nuclear weapons, of being too liberal, a sitting American president publicly attacking the head of the Catholic Church, one of the most respected religious institutions on the planet, because the Pope apparently criticized him. He said, and I want to be precise here because this matters, we don't want a Pope that says crime is okay in our cities. There is no record of Pope Leo saying crime is okay in anyone's cities. That is a characterization. That is Trump's framing of a criticism the Pope made. And rather than engage with it, he repackaged it as the Pope endorsing crime. This is the pattern. Every critic becomes a caricature. The Pope likes crime. NATO wasn't there for us. Iran lied. Every relationship, every institution, every alliance filtered through one lens. Loyalty to Trump. If you're with him, you're praised. If you're not, you're either destroyed or insulted. And NATO. He said they weren't there for us, that they didn't help during this conflict. And now he's suggesting their entire funding relationship is under serious examination. NATO, the alliance that has kept European stability for decades, the alliance that invoked Article 5 after September 11th to stand with America, is now facing punishment because they didn't participate in a military operation that Trump hasn't fully explained to the public that funds it. This is the accountability gap. Not that Trump has opinions. Not even that he made decisions. It's that decisions of this magnitude, military action, blockades, alliance threats, are being communicated like sports scores. Casually. Publicly. Without documents, without evidence, without the institutional weight these moments demand. The American public is owed more than a hallway. Here is what we know for certain. We know Trump said 158 ships are destroyed. We do not have independent confirmation of that. We know he announced a blockade. We do not know what legal or congressional framework authorized it. We know he attacked the Pope. We know he threatened NATO. We know he made a promise. No nuclear weapon for Iran. That has no enforcement mechanism he described. And we know all of this was communicated in approximately 3 minutes. In a corridor, without a single piece of supporting documentation shown to the public. That's not a victory lap. That's an accountability vacuum. This country has been through enough to know what happens when power goes unchecked and unchallengeable. When the press stops asking follow-up questions. When Congress stays quiet. When the public is just supposed to take the word of one man about the outcome of a war. The American public deserves a briefing. They deserve evidence. They deserve the receipts on 158 ships, and until those receipts are produced, every claim in that hallway should be treated as exactly what it is. Unverified. If you think the press should have pushed harder, if you think these claims deserve real scrutiny, share this video. Because the only accountability that's left right now is the public demanding it. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to keep doing this.